Missing lots about lots of things. Life's pretty good, but it's a tough existence. I'm gonna read some book for a bit and then do some diary. Dear Diary, today was quite rough and tough. The dunes here are massive. The sea's not too bad, although the wind's blowing the wrong direction.
Nothing's easy, I'm over it. Nothing is done in moderation. Everything's bloody one thing or the other. I don't know where the river mouth is. I don't know what fucking town this is.
I've got a broken toe, chafed to the left arm and right nipple. And these shorts are starting to stink. And I've run out of toothpaste. What a travesty that is. The man will be going wild before he knows it. Suppose he's in Africa. See, I should be acting. Not this bloody paddling business, it's just all hard work. So one of the other guides has just told me that one of the canoes is leaking. He's not sure which one and from which end. That could be it there. No, that's just a big... In saying that, they give him a hiding. But I like the fact that this is all kind of slow. You know, every one of these scratches just a scratch over a rock somewhere. You know, it's kind of getting back to slow travel. I'm looking over my last trip here and just seeing the size difference. About 3.5 Australias fit inside the African continent. Now in Africa, I'm trying to go from this black line here basically to the opposite side of it. And that'll be roughly about 4,000 k's. And even on this crappy map that I've pulled out of our old library, you can see the scale of just how big it is. Inherently, the biggest dangers are probably more people than waves. Although I still crap myself at big waves, or a big shark, or a whale, or whatever it is with its giant tail here. You know, we're inherently safe about things, and it drives me crazy. So I don't think you get to explore human endeavour and human will, which is so empowering, if you don't risk a little. You got to risk things, you know. You got to do exactly what this bit of cardboard says. Risk things, and you might find out something about yourself. They're all looking at me funny. I'll go home to Australia, take a few weeks to pack, get sorted, and then off to Africa. It couldn't get any more different than like New York City subway to Africa. It's more hard work than paddling, just getting around with all my crap. Just been for a bit of a training paddle to sort this thing out. It's working beautifully now after a few months of trial and error, I suppose. Sewer pipe, 100mm sewer pipe, fits the camera beautifully. So coming home from this paddle, thinking you beaut, it's no more training paddles. I got a phone call from Western Australia from a mate who was going to paddle with me for the first month, meet me in Africa. He's pulled the pin, which I half suspected. So plan B kicked straight in. I rang a friend in New Zealand who's been nagging to come along for 6 months and said, do you want to buy a ticket to Africa? And he said, you beauty. And all within about 2 hours, we've changed the sort of dynamic of the trip. So Jared Sharples of New Zealand will come join me for the first month.
Yeah, I haven't really thought too much about what we're going to come across on the whole trip. It's more, you know, I'm going to meet Beau in South Africa and then we're going to go for a paddle, and it's sort of all I've as much thought as I've given it, really. I know I think of South Africa and things, and I think Wilbur Smith. You know, it's pretty much what I know about. I don't know a whole lot about South Africa or Mozambique, but you know, it's going to be interesting to get there and actually see what it's like for real.
I'm pulling this apart for the last time. Next time I put it together, we'll be in Africa. As this starts to split up, check this out. This is way cool. It's like a giant piece of Lego. 2 fancy bits of furniture joined there, like dovetail joins, made by an Aussie guy. Perfect for expedition travel overseas because it just comes apart into 3 large bits of luggage, basically. And there you go. That's what I take to the airport with me. 3 bits of cheese like that.
When do you hope to get into the water, Beau?
We're still waiting for kayak number 2, Lemonade, for Jared from New Zealand, who's paddling that for the first probably 800 or 900 kilometres with me. So I've got to stick around and then go through the whole customs rigmarole to get that kayak from the airport, and then, look, hopefully I'll be on the water by Monday.
Just almost clocked up 5 hours at the airport. I usually love airports because it means I'm going somewhere. But this one can get stuffed. Look, it's 1 Mayak. So Lemonade has landed.
Last time we spoke, when we got off air, I got a few phone calls from concerned listeners saying that bloke's mad, that he doesn't know what he's in for.
Look, firearms are everywhere and razor wires on every fence, and there's Alsatians in every property, so I've got to take note of that and not just shoot away blatantly. I've had to hire locals and do it from the back of a ute, whizzing past in cars. I've been a bit inventive, and it's been terrific, and it's doing it a bit harder, but it's working out.
We shouldn't really be on this road, but just awesome, just awesome. Well, here it is, the Indian Ocean. I'm crapping myself. It's been so many years and so much talk about it, and so many people say I'm crazy, and this is it. Let's paddle around Africa. Righto. I hope I'm not too much in love with the romance or the idea of this thing, and not the journey itself. I don't want to have to do anything to say I've done it. I want to do it because I love it. So this is day 1.
But we've made a start. You little ripper. And there's actually a big surf break out here that's looking really mean. In the afternoon, the tide's coming in, there's a big sandbar full on. So I'm going to keep our eyes out for that. The boats are so heavy, they're big, lardy things. Be hard to tip. Famous last words, eh?
Okay, I've stopped for lunch. We've stopped for lunch. Sardines in tomato sauce. Cheers.
We're in deep water. We're heading towards Tofu, which is about 6 or 7 kilometres away, and Maputo, which is under 400 k's. This is basically the biggest town between now and the capital, so it's going to get harder logistically from here, water especially. Hello! Comprehend. Okay. Beautiful part of the world. We're in. We're about 20 kilometres south of Inabani. I was just saying that with my freckles, I'd love to have beautiful skin like them, and they laugh. How you got flip-flops, thongs. What a great use as floats. All those ones you find one on the beach, yeah, chop them in half. Beautiful. And they've got these great little boats they take out, all handmade. They take and set nets. They're just waiting for their nets to fill up now, and they'll go out and
hopefully come back with a catch. But our boats here, they look a bit unusual stacked up against their little dinghies, but they do a great job. While she rolls, get me paddle. Might be absolutely kidding ourselves today. I'm tempted to think is the case. Been sitting in the dunes for 2 days reading our books, waiting for the swell to go down, and we're just at the crossroads then of whether we go inland to find more water and food. And on wanders our fisherman here, and we mention Agua. An hour later he turns up with water and coconuts, so it means we're pretty right for the next day or two. He actually ran off when he left here. Look at this. Do I drink this? I can't tell you how good that is. That is so good. It's just sweet, sweet water. Made our day. What a treat. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So we've just done a pack up, pretty quick one. These gentlemen, the fisherman, the old fisherman who came and helped us yesterday, his son and another friend have arrived and told us that the weather's probably going to be bad for another 2 or 3 days. We can get to the lake, the Goa, and paddle the rest of the way to Kosovo. Do you think it's possible? Yeah. Possible. So we brought the kayaks back to his coconut grove. We're eating sun-dried fish, and we're about to walk into town. It's the first freshwater we've seen in weeks. We've been invited into D2's family's residence, I suppose, or property. Everywhere around here seems to be someone he knows or related to. We're drinking really strong, sweet coffee and eating beautiful bread. It's about the best thing I can imagine right now.
Held up with the weather, precious time ticked away, and it was playing on me. But there were worse places to be, these healthy, vibrant people. They played host while the sea continued to churn. Whilst Jared and I sat drinking strong coffee and eating fresh bread, on the other side of the world, another kayaker was attempting the impossible.
Big week. We've done almost 200 kilometres. We've seen 1 million dolphins and 1 million turtles, and it's been hot as Hades, and we've run out of water a heap, but we're getting there. I've been following him. What's happened? Oh no.
Kayak 1, your signal is muffled. Please repeat your message. Confirm your kayak is sinking. Kayak 1, Kayak 1, Kayak 1.
But they are going to continue the search. You hadn't heard that?
No, I sent him an email before I left and wished him my best and followed him to the point where I left Johannesburg, where he was 2/3 of the way across. But But I can imagine his wife who's been doing his updates, and that's bloody tragic.
Why does this shit hit the fan for Andrew McCauley?
Yeah, found his kayak 70 k's off the coast. He's not in it.
Hey?
Poor bastard. Oh, his
Off the coast
family.
of NZ.
Yeah. Yep.
Shit. Holy shit.
I was just on the phone then to Australian radio, and here we are in the middle of Africa, down the Mozambique coast, and the morning announcer then has just told me that Andrew McCauley, Australian Adventurer of the Year, who's been paddling from Tasmania to New Zealand, has been his kayak has been found without him in it, about 70 kilometres off the coast of New Zealand. Which touches home a bit, because I'm not doing a big crossing like that, but we're certainly doing something that's risky, and you know, we're in the middle of nowhere right now, and if we get our head hit on a reef or something when we're coming in, that's it, you know, you wash up on the shore and someone finds you a week later. So look, my thoughts are with his family right now. I know his wife, who's been doing the updates on his internet, and his little child who wants to kayak like his dad. That's real tragic stuff. I hope they find him. I hope he's okay. It's confirmed that Andrew McCauley, or the search has definitely been called off, and we suppose he's dead, which is tragic. I just did a radio interview then, and it's the first thing everyone asks. So it certainly brings it home. We'll be safe, we'll be patient, we'll try to be, and we'll wait for the swell to die down, I suppose. Yeah, we'll get there in the end. Groundhog Day, we've been here 4 days. We got here Sunday afternoon. It's now Wednesday, 6 AM in the morning. And the swell's not doing us any favours. We're going to be extra patient this morning and wait on the beach in our kayaks, skirts on, ready to go when we think it's the best time. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. And then just be aggressive and hope like hell we make it, yeah. Feel like I don't want to get wet. Off the beach break. Couldn't have picked a worse time. Come on, sit down, sit down. I don't say hate very often, but my voice is hoarse because I've been yelling at the beach all morning. For the last 45 minutes, we've tried to get through the shore break and just couldn't. I had to pull my skirt for the first time in 2 weeks because my head was rubbing on the sand, tiny, stupid little waves. And I've lost my hat. My precious favourite hat, hand stitched for me. So I'm pissed off. My biggest vice for this whole trip is sunburn, and it takes the one fucking thing, pisses me off. I've had it strapped to my face and everything. And here we are. We're halfway between our start point and Maputo, which is kind of nice. We've almost hit the 250k mark, and you know, I did the dishes in the nude in a little sort of half fresh lake out the back here. doing the dishes in the nude after a bad day is kind of the best thing to fix things. It was fantastic.
I tell no lie, 2 minutes ago, my blade of my paddle was bitten by a shark. I kid you not. Probably only a 3 or 4 foot shark. That's its tooth there. At least I think it is. It's jumped on, it's bitten it. I've had its full weight and gone like this, and it's flicked off. Plastic doesn't taste any good. Let's hope Uncle Pop, Grandma, or anyone older than it's not around to take a bigger chunk. See what's that out there? Not sure if the camera's picking that up.
So here we are on our day off after 500 kilometres trying to get a visa extension because of the cyclone. No? No go? No, I'm forward. Why not? Yeah, so we just got told we're not allowed to film outside the Maputo embassy. We're going to just walk away quietly now, and we're going to legally go down the rest of the coast of Mozambique.
So we've walked an hour and odd across the savannah to get water. We haven't found water. We've found a little store, and this is what's on offer. So we're having a beer. We might have to get some pilchards with chili sauce. These are the ones. Very good.
We're in a 12-seater bus with 25 people. We're almost at the beach again after a few days off. There's a giant bull in front of us right now. We're not going to dodge that. Tractors everywhere. And my head is on the front windscreen. I shit you not. That's
funny.
Yeah, that's the rear vision mirror behind me. Okay. And this is so Africa, you know.
My golly, that was like a donkey piss. That was huge. Oh, the ocean's just gone up a few inches.
Cheers. I've got the machi. And apple juice. My golly. Isn't it brilliant? A Sunday afternoon. They come down, they spear the shrimp, the bait, use them for bait, and then they make their fishing poles and then fish for small fish just only 3 or 4 metres off. Get a whole swag of them, and that's a Sunday afternoon.
So we're walking down the road, and Beau's been trying to find some what he calls fishing pants, and we see this guy here. So he's trying to make sure that
one day I've worn jocks, and he barely intimate here with the fella. We've just waited 5 days for the weather, and it's finally come. We've got an easterly, but our man here's not feeling well. No. We hope it's not malaria. It's got everything, all the call signs of malaria, but tell us how you feeling, man.
Run down, bloody body's aching, sore throat.
Still 55 kilometres from South Africa. We're still illegal, both of us. So he's going to have to do a dodgy through the border crossing. I'll be bloody sorry to leave him, because we're a pretty good team out in the water, you know. Okay. So, yeah, no worries, mate. This great union will be disturbed. I'll leave tomorrow and hopefully make really good progress towards Durban. 435 kilometres to Durban from here as the crow flies. So about 500 odd paddle kilometres. So I hope it's got a little touch more of northerly tomorrow, and I'm going to go early as possible as I can. And I'll miss the boy, I really will. He's going to meet me in Durban with a bottle of cider. I tell you what, it'll taste pretty good, I reckon. See you, mate. But once again, you're just alone, and it's, you've got all the time in the world to think of all the things you miss. Makes it all the better when you get it, but doesn't help right here and now, you know. Oh, come on. It stings like you wouldn't believe. The big blue bottle. Ouch. It's amazing just how much weight I lose. 7 hours, 45 minutes in the kayak. One Mars bar, 100 grams of nuts, and 8 biscuits. And that's probably the hardest thing about this whole trip from now on in, or for the next month, is just fueling myself, because 6 or 8 hours in the saddle is just crazy. So I just lose everything. I don't have a book. I packed really lightweight. No undies, 1 pair of shorts, 2 shirts, 1 rashie. I've got to get something to keep me amused in the afternoons, in the evenings. I'll go spare. I can only talk to myself so much. See what I mean? I'm trying to string the night out by talking to the camera. So I don't have to go to sleep and then get up and do it all again. Although tomorrow is South Africa. Tomorrow I get to South Africa, and a new set of people, new set of guidelines. Coast will stay the same.
I'll be damned. I think I've just totally timed it through the smallest waves this morning. Yeah!
So down here at the docks, immigration's just arrived. They came down especially. My kayak's down there in the international vessel moorings, and our man over here is just having a check over my passport. So I'm legal again. Look at this. Fantastic. Legal in South Africa again. First time I've been legal on all accounts for a good number of weeks now. Good feeling. I've just had one of those pinch yourself moments where I'm actually quite enjoying myself. You couldn't get better paddling. It's just glorious. This could potentially be the most anticlimactic landing I've had in a while, which is always the way. As soon as I push record, nothing bloody happens. I'm a filmmaker, so I'm making a film. See on the front? Just this is the officer in charge of the marine conservation area that we're in here. I didn't realise that you weren't allowed to launch all along the coast up until here, which is legal. I'll keep going on to Point Vital now, and Vital Bay, Vital Cape, Cape Vital. Yeah, which is about a 70k haul. So I'll wait for the wind to go and then do one big day. But we're now friends after a little bit of confusion. I almost cracked it.
But my worry is...
Now we're okay. We're back on turf.
Launch where you are allowed and where you're not allowed.
Corruption and false laws were everywhere. Here's the head of the coastal boating operations for the KwaZulu-Natal coast in South Africa. He's wearing my buoyancy vest back to front, and without my camera rolling, I would have spent the night in jail. This guy was a world apart from my next encounter.
Out of 34 workers, 33 were HIV positive. A big part of our program is education. We're constantly running courses on HIV aimed at the children.
I would say the more 10 and 11 and 12-year-olds, that age group is they're pretty aware of AIDS. I don't think the younger ones, like the twins, I don't think they have a concept of this illness. I do think, though, that the local kids and everyone in the area is quite shocked at the number of people dying right now. It's just one a week. But there is still a denial. They'll say, yes, he was sick, but he didn't have AIDS.
So would you classify this as an orphanage? You'd call it an orphanage?
Full on, yeah. Full on. These guys have got no way.
So they've all come in ages between sort of, what, 10 and 16?
10 and 18, yeah. Some of the bigger ones are much older than they look. They've lost about 5 years of nutrition.
Yeah.
And if it's severe like that, they don't catch up. These are our boys.
This is the guy who was
he was inoculated. That's the Zulu word, komil.
So this thing of inoculation is essentially an exorcism that their parents perform on them.
That's right.
So I've been stuck on the coast for the last 2 months, and this is my first sort of trip inland, and these wonderful people are doing a real difference here in Africa. Here's an orphanage and all these happy guys. Good on you, boys. We're going to go see where you live and go inside and have a look, hey? And look at this, his little kingdom here. So these are some of the orphanage rooms in here. Comfortable, all you need. Beautiful little bed. Good man. What's your name?
Vanessa.
What is that?
Vanessa.
Vanessa.
Yeah.
So there's a new incentive to get these guys to school, which is 12 kilometres away. Look at these guys here. Here's the new pride and joy, the bike.
Visuals.
From Tropic of Capricorn here to Durban.
Afrique.
Umnad. Umnad Afrique. Good. Afrique. Thank you for having me, boys. Thank you. Thank you. Fantastic.
See you, folks.
So I've been looking for a spot to pitch my tent because there's nowhere. My tent, I just went to look for another tent site, and the tent was blown right up into the trees up there. I'm in the only gully I can find. The wind's just a bastard. I'm protected on all sides here, and yet it zips up through this little gully like a wind tunnel, which is exactly what it is, but it's the best I can do. You can't get out of the wind, you can't get out of the sand, you just can't get out of the elements of the beach. People travel hundreds of kilometres to go and sit in the sand and the wind. But I'm camped in this little wind tunnel right now, which is getting the predominant wind, but it was the best I could do. My kayak's down the coast, another couple of 100 metres, pulled right up on the shore because we're expecting a big swell sometime in the next 24 hours. Well, this was always going to be the problem with going for a long stretch of land with very little in between. Doesn't make sense. I remember hearing last night, pretty late, the noise of the surf getting louder. And I thought, oh, here comes this swell they've been talking about. And sure enough, it's taken the beach away. There's now a 6 or 8 foot sand cliff the entire stretch of coastline. And out there are huge waves. Huge waves. I couldn't get off the beach even if I tried. The whole horizon is jagged. There's breaking waves right out of the continental shelf. Reefs that you wouldn't even know are here otherwise. Way out, way out breaking waves. Surfers will be going nuts. They're all clean as well. And the wicked thing is the wind's starting to blow the right way. It's blowing from the north, exactly the way I want to go, but I just can't get out. So yesterday I waited for the wind. Today I wait for the swell. So this is what I've got up to. Cliffs. Yesterday they were 6 or 8 foot tall. Now they're 14 and 10 foot tall. The beach is literally gone, or at least the dunes have. So Durban have had 100 odd homes be totally washed out. A couple of their wharfs have been washed out to sea. So it's a giant tide with huge swell. They are saying up to 8 metres. And this is hopefully the day it starts to ease. So I'm a little bit anxious. I sit in the shade all day and do nothing, try and conserve energy. It will get worse, but you can get 3 or 4 hours of paddling in every morning, but I just can't get past this break. I was listening on the radio last night and the guy said, stay away from the beaches. We don't want rubberneckers down at the beach. You're clogging up all the emergency services. And last night at about 6 p.m, as the sun was setting, I'm standing right on the edge of these sandy cliffs and the waves are just bashing against it. Had a total bird's eye view. It was amazing. So I'm privileged, but it means another day waiting. Ooh, doesn't smell so treatish. Feels like I'm feeding the cat. And these are the cheapest of the cheap, these sardines. And oh god, they cost about 20 US cents and smell about 20 cents worth. God, they say in tomato sauce, it's not tomato sauce at all. It's just a slurry of something. There's a scale. Look at that, fish scales. I suppose it, all energy. I got here Saturday, it's now Tuesday. Tomorrow's best case scenario. I could hold out till Thursday, but my energy and hydration would be pretty shot by then. So I made the decision to call for help. I called Digger. He's the owner of the Blue Juice dive company, 30 kilometres north of here. So he's had to get special permission from the Parks Board, let down his tyres, and he's going to cruise up the beach. The first car to come up here since the storms. So how was the beach down at Savannah?
No, it's trash, mate.
Trash, finished.
Washed away toilets and roads and trees and gazebos.
Everything's just gone.
Took away the whole beach, basically. Deposited big trees around the point.
Huge slabs of concrete everywhere.
And how long have you guys been at Savannah?
About 8 years now.
And it's the biggest you've seen?
Biggest swell I've ever seen. I think they said it was the biggest swell in, what, 20 years, Johnny, eh?
Yeah.
Parks Board there.
Biggest swell in 20 years, huh?
20 years, yeah.
So I've been grounded for a good reason.
The whole coastline was a whitewash, mate.
Yeah.
From Durban up to Ponta. Yeah. Never seen swell like it.
Do you fear doubt? Like hearing doubt from other people about the trip?
It's frustrating to hear people now give me things of doubt, and I bite back now, and I did to one of my neighbours the other day at Christmas. It's Christmas lunch, and she's saying, you better write a note to your sister's twins that she's about to have in case something happens. And I'm realistic enough to know that. I've written a will. But that really upset me. It really pissed me off. And I love her. She's a lovely neighbour, and she meant the world good about the comment, but I need lots of positive stuff right now. You know, I've got enough going on without people saying it.
And so how long have you been here?
I've been living here 17 years.
So in
permanently. It's never happened, no, but before that The first time I came down here, I must have been about eight years of age, and it's never happened.
So you can see the dieback already, but the water level got up to the bottom pane of the windows. So it was all through here. The locals thought it was a tsunami. A lot of the windows were broken with the water pressure in and outside the house.
And in all my years of growing up, this never happened. We had enormous milkwoods here in front, which were washed away in the 87 flood. We had the big Natal floods. That's when the river came down. And it washed, well, I'll show you the pictures. It washed all those houses away.
Yeah.
But that was the river, that was rain. We've never
That wasn't
had...
from the seaside,
yes, it wasn't from the sea. Anyway, come have some tea.
Some tea
But
time, yeah.
we'll survive it.
So I've just gone from here, just above the Tropic of Capricorn, down around past Maputo, and I'm 15 kilometres north of Durban. Well, basically in it, I'm just in the outer suburbs.
Beau Miles, good to see you, buddy. You need a shave, mate. I know.
Feels fantastic to be back. Finally back in the land of the sun. Ready to go, 100%. Gonna get paddling again. No, I think I managed to put on a few kilos while I wasn't paddling, so...
British food, the bastard, look at that, there we go.
See, it's not just me that's happy to be giving back to the water. Lemonade's happy to be giving back as well. She's even wagging her tail.
We've landed in the cannery. These things here, we've eaten probably that many. That's how many tins of pilchards we've eaten.
Quite ironic, this, isn't it?
Amazing.
We live on this stuff, but then we come here, we camp next to it.
I know. There you go, Winnie and Lemonade next to basically our sustenance for the whole trip. Alright, it's dark. It's cold. And we're going to go around the southern tip of Africa. Oh well, I'll put the kettle on, love.
I could have at least waited till I woke up.
See those trees? We're going the opposite way.
The ultimate purpose of, I think, his trip and the way he explains it to me is that he doesn't have a specific goal or purpose in a set way. So I think he's left it open, and I think he'll learn a lot about himself and the country and the people and the countries and the continent. As to whether he can do it or not, and as to whether he knows his own limits, only time will tell.
It's a season that I won't see. Stuck out at sea, about 14 hours from the next safe port, we had nowhere to come ashore. Our recommended landing spots, and we had a few of them, they were all blown out with the 4-metre swell. Heading north on the cold Atlantic waters, I was pointing in the right direction. The seasons had changed, and so had the trip. And with Jared back, I was now making decisions for two of us again.
For the last month after the rescue, the sort of storm in a teacup off the bottom of Cape Agulhas, where we were helped by the National Sea Rescue Institute after having breakfast with them that morning. They helped us off the water, and a few days later we were back paddling towards Cape Town. And this month, heading in towards this new finishing point, obviously I was thinking about the degree of success. Had I fulfilled my trip, you know, I was supposed to paddle 4,500 kilometres around the Cape, and yet I'd done half that. So I started to think about the varying degrees of success. What did it all mean? And I suppose it was completely removed from the trip itself. It wasn't about the kilometres or the sea or the coastline or how worn my body was or how lonely it was at some stages and how much I enjoyed it. It was more about how I really longed to see new places and new people and it was what was around every corner and across every horizon that you'd see every day. What was around that bend that made me want to see it?
So we really have a need to explore the parameters of our lives, and certainly sea kayaking provides a real means of getting out there. And it's so simple. You get into your kayak and you paddle away, and you've got a cosmopolitan city all around you, and it's a couple of strokes and you're out there. The restrictions fall away, the roads fall away, the traffic falls away, the crowds fall away, and you're out there. It's as simple as that. It's in your backyard and it's there. And that's a great thing about it, that it's still essentially free.
We've lost what it means to get places under our own steam, calling on our own bodies, our own puff to move us forward, even if only for short distances. Not only does 50 kilometres of coastline potentially change your life, but at 5 or 6 kilometres an hour, you see, with such intimacy, you can't help but to take notice. It's consuming. Expeditions are flawed. You have to regress a little. You have to go back to being held captive by the weather and not time. Your body and thoughts, they're your orchestra, and you feel like the centre of the universe. But you have enough time to realise that, compared to the thing you're floating on, you're nothing at all. You're just a paddler, paddling down the coast.
It's so big, I'm so small. Along the fence,